2 prisoners being held in a guard post to the southwest of Ngumba Industrial Zone. The targets are civilians, 1 male, 1 female. Apparently they're specialists sent out there to investigate infectious diseases. They were frequent visitors to that devil's house at Nzoya Mediu. If you recover them, we'll finally be able to get first-hand accounts of what's been going on in that place.
Where are your friends? Where are the others? Where are your friends? Where are your friends? Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Fire!
2. Roger that. An enemy squad is on its way to the guard post. Watch yourself. Check her face. See if she's a target. That's the target.
Civil Delta 2. Geen teken van die vijand. Ons staak die zoektocht. Oor.
Er is geen teken, begrijp. Wees paraat. Uit.
Ons wordt aangevallen! Civil Delta 2. Ons is onderscoord. Knal tempels op wapens. Geen schoten voor me. Oor.
Er is geen teken, begrijp. Alleen niet erg gewaarschuwd.
Alsjeblieft. Monitor nu.
Leave the rest to us.
Onze prisonier gevonden en beveiligd. Stuur instructie.
Er is CT, begrijp. Staan vast. En wacht voor verdere bevelen. Uit.
Whoa, stop! Your mission is to extract the targets.
Boss, have you lost your mind?
Your objective is to rescue the 2 targets. Counting on you, boss. He's coming too. Roger that.
Nummer 6 was verkeerd. Kom op nummer 6. Wat is de situatie? Alle eenheden staan bij.
CP is Delta 6. Vijandige behoort vernietigd. En die afvalsman is gereed. Oor.
Er is CT, begrijp. Lay op je roede. Uit.
You gotta extract him.
Let's check it out. Fire! I see fire!
Onze prisonier gevonden en beveiligd. Stuur instructie. Oor.
Er is CT, begrijp. Staan vast. En wacht voor verdere bevelen. Uit.
CP is Delta 2. Iemand is pas aangevallen. Is hij veilig?
Er is CT, begrijp. Eerst wachtzaam in. Ready veiligheid. Uit.
Now extract the remaining target.
Help me!
You need to help her.
You've come to rescue me. I was asked to show that man around here. Dangerous work. I hated every second.
Amazing, boss. Getting both prisoners out in that situation. Great work. Now exfiltrate. Roger. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Boss, we placed the 2 targets in quarantine. They don't show signs of anything, but we'll monitor them just the same. If they had access to the Devil's House, I doubt they were sent there by some health organization. Cypher used them, and would have eliminated them eventually. But we'll protect them here. They've agreed to that. After all, we helped them out of the country as promised. The mission's complete. But boss, they've been behind the curtains at Ngumba. They examined the patients there nearly every day. They told us the patients were being made to listen to voices on tape. But the male target added something interesting. He said he doesn't know what was on the tapes because there was no English version. Of all the voices that were shoved down those people's throats, English was one of them. Boss, staying on the battlefield that long will have a negative impact on your health. Why not head back to Mother Base for a shower once in a while?
The boss is back. Let's go refuel and load up on artillery.
We're good to go, Chief.
What's the matter?
Stop this! Now!
What the fuck, you freak?
Give me a hand! Hold her still! Dismissed.
Payback for how they treated her?
Doesn't explain the others. She had every chance to kill them. Tight security on her cell. This happens a second time. There won't be a third.
Boss, about Eli. I'd heard that one product of the Les Enfants Terribles project went missing in Africa. The age would be about right. Now, I'm not saying I think it's Eli, but I want to run a genetic test all the same. Don't worry, I'll have it done without him noticing. The test may take some time, but I'll tell you as soon as we have the results.
What's up, boss? Boss, how about a mock battle? Thanks for that, boss. Thanks for that, boss. Thanks for that, boss. Thanks for that, boss. Thanks for that, boss.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Mission objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the General's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt. Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid. Jackals are closely related to dogs and wolves, so much so that they can interbreed with them. In fact, the Soviets are trying to create new species by crossing them with other animals. So we can ID the targets. Okay, that's the General's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss. There he is, the commander. Extract him. Disengage, or use your tranquilizer pistol or CQC to put him down gently. That's the target prisoner. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper. Roger.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Tangi ya General ya Bakala. Lungu, Mosi, Tata ya Bankaka, Kamono, Elaka Mono, Mambo General Salaka. Bantu ya Buta, ya Mbele, Etikaka Mosi, Beto Mosi, Kebampangi, Akampidina, Nyayi Kentango, Ekubutuka Diaka, Nimabe, Menga, Kekiro, Kampasa, Kulambi, Nambi,
Extractor Commander. Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own. You'll need to treat it with first aid.
Snake, talk to me! Snake! Snake!
Extractor Commander. You should be able to find out the commander's location by interrogating his boys. Don't hurt any of those kids. Disengage, or use your tranquilizer pistol or CQC to put him down gently.
party!
He's coming too. Roger that. Mission complete. Great work. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care. Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper. Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa. Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you. Boss, a new job's come in. It's a hit. I'm the human trafficker who sent Shabani and the others to Nzoia Badia Bulu, where you ran into Skullface. The thing is, this guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid. Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility, those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Boss, there's a target on the run somewhere on the Savannah. Your job is to find and eliminate him. He's a logistics officer for the PF known as Rogue Coyote. On the side, however, he colluded with the Buta regime, abducting people from Mbele villages and supplying them as slave labor. That's right. He's a human trafficker. His victims ended up all over the place. Brothels, black market, organ trade, diamond mines. And he was the one who sent Shabani and the other kids to the Devil's House. But then an Mbeli rebel group finally added him to their hit list. The target decided it was time to quit, and now he's trying to leave the country. If he makes it back to his country, he'll be no more than a civilian, and he'll avoid facing a court-martial. Like so many other war biz junkies. I'll bet he plans on enjoying a new live finance with his blood money. The client's order is to take him out. How you go about that is up to you, boss.